Okay, let's do this. What if Deku was Killer Sans? Part 1. Let's begin. It starts when Izuku wakes up. He goes to the bathroom to wash his face and clean his teeth. And he was, and when he looked at the mirror, he was in shock to see that he has a wing that is white. Izuku was excited to know that his quirk was manifest. He immediately goes to his mother and show her what happened. Enko was happy for Izuku, so both of them, after eating and washing and get ready, go to the hospital to see what Izuku quirk is. The doctors on the way to hospital, no, on the hospital, the doctors say that Izuku have a strong quirk and he can become a great hero in the future. Izuku and Iko was happy to know this. Wait a second, sorry about that. Both of them left the room. The doctor suddenly have a sinister grin, and he called someone and said, "Sir, I just found a good test subject." While smiling sinisterly, Inko and Izuku are on the way to celebrate, but before they can go, they was bombed with about three guys. Inko feels feels uncomfortable. He feels there's something not good. She immediately carried Izuku and ran. The guy chased her. Inko accidentally go to an alleyway with a dead end. Inko was scared. Izuku as well. The man surround trapped Inko and Izuku. One of the men snatched Izuku from Inko. Inko tried to get her baby boy from that man. Then the man, no, Izuku tried to get out from the man, but the man put some handkerchief that have chlorophyll, if I was right, on Izuku's mouth, and Izuku is unconscious. Inko was scared. He immediately tried to get Izuku, but one of the men pulled a gun out and shot her on the head. Then they leave. A few hours has passed after what happened to Inko. Izuku wakes up and he wondering where he is. He sees a tall man wearing a suit with a white hair and a man that wearing a, a, a lab coat and having a weird looking mask. Izuku confused where he is and the guy that wearing the suit walked to Izuku. Izuku walked backward, now stepped back and in fear, and the guy and Izuku say, "Where is my mom?" The man that wearing the tuxedo say, "Well, your mother was killed." Izuku, what? Before Izuku can ask any question, the man grabbed Izuku's head, and then Izuku is in pain. He don't know what happened, and then Izuku is no, the man let go of Izuku's head. Izuku on his knee, and he say, "What did you do to me?" Izuku, the man say, "Well, kid, I just steal your quirk. Izuku was in shock and he said, "What?" Before he can try to ask that thing anymore, he remembered about his mother and said, "What do you mean that you kill her?" The doctor said, "Well, you see, we killed you because of your amazing and rare quirk, and she tried to get in our way, so we have to put her down." Izuku is crying to know that his mother is died. All for one, and the doctor leave. A few years has passed, and this is when he was captured and was when he was 4, and this about 2 years. That means Izuku is now 6 years old. Izuku was tortured and experimented. In the experiment, when he was experimented and tortured, he lost his emotion, and the doctor and all for one seeing this. And there's something weird happening to Izuku. Izuku sometimes cry, a black liquid, a emotional face. The doctor saying this, and he tried take sample of the black liquid coming from Izuku eye. The doctor make a experiment and sometimes try to test it on the normal, one of the normal. And when he put it to one of the normal starting to add up. He started he starting to be in rampage. So the doctor have to kill the normal. The doctor was in shock to know the normal become more stronger and more violent with this little amount of black liquid. The doctor call it hatred, call it hate, and Izuku hair starting to change color. Every time the doctor tortured or experimented on Izuku, Izuku hair starting to from be curly from being slick, and his hair now turning darker into black, not, no more green. When Izuku was 7, Izuku on in his cell, and then there someone come. One other man opened it and threw someone in it. Izuku seeing who it is, and he was to see it was a little girl, and she was scared and crying. And the man say, "This, you guys will become a cellmate. So please don't do something stupid or whatever." And then the man leave. The girl looked around and he was scared. No, she was scared. And the girl looked at Izuku. She immediately go to the corner. Izuku stand up and walked to her. The girl somewhat scared at Izuku to see that Izuku face somewhat have a black line from his eye to his chin. And Izuku say, "Are you okay?" The girl say, "Yeah, please don't hurt me." Izuku say, "Don't worry, I won't hurt you at all." Both of them talk a little. Izuku introduced himself and to what happened to him. The girl introduced herself and her name was Kendo. Kendo explained that all for one steal her quirk and replaced it with different one. Now she has now she's somewhat a mutant type of mutant type quirk. So she have a wolf ears and a tail. Izuku and Kendo chat and they been tortured most of their life. Every time Kendo go to her cell, she crying and scared. Izuku always go to her and comforting her. All for one been tortured a lot of things, and all for one see that Izuku are different and tough to break because of him not screaming at all. The torture someone don't feel anything to him. Some one time all for one cut make someone torture Izuku by cutting his finger and toe off. Izuku don't scream at all. All for one using his quirk regenerated the, his finger every time. His torture is almost is like Kaneki torture in the Tokyo Ghoul. But all for one and the doctor thought that Izuku was emotionless, fully emotionless, but there are something weird they don't know about. Izuku still someone have his quirk, and all for one tried to get it out a little bit of that quirk, but it cannot be stolen. So he gave up on that, and there's something else. Izuku still have a little bit of his emotion, and the emotion he still have is rage toward all for one and the doctor. Izuku never see the doctor face, but he was frustrated. And one day, when Izuku and Kendo on the night, Kendo is sleeping and on Izuku's lap. Izuku sleeping, and when on his dream, on inside of his mind, he met someone. Both of them talk a little, and the guy say, "Do you want to have your revenge?" At him. Whiskered, sorry about that. The man say, "Do you want to have revenge to that guy that tortured you for your most of your life?" Izuku say, "Of course I want it, but I don't have a quirk." Izuku, though, the man say, "Actually, you still have a little bit of fragment of your quirk." And Izuku was in shock and say, "What do you mean?" The man say, "I can help you in the future, but not now. And I will say this, that man, he maybe stole your quirk, but not fully. There's still a little bit inside of you." And Izuku talked with the man, and Izuku asked, "What do you mean in the future? You will help me?" The man smirked, and he say, "Well, you see, me, I am actually you, but in the former life." Izuku was confused, and the man said, "Do you ever hear about reincarnation?" Izuku before read a book about this, a story about what a reincarnation is. So he said, yeah, about a person become reborn as another one. Am I right? The man smirked, and the man say, in the future, I will awake our full power. So please wait and be strong, and always remember, fill yourself with hatred toward that guy, and please protect your loved one from the man that hurt you all these years. So, how about that? Izuku say, sure, but first, who are you? What? Who are you? What your name? The man say, Sand. Sand the skeleton. You can see I'm skeleton, so just wait, and we will meet again in the future. And Izuku say, wait, and then he awake. It's still night time, and Izuku look at Kendo. He's crying and scared, and Izuku pats Kendo in the head, on her head, and Kendo calm and smile for the while now. The torture become worse and worse to Izuku and Kendo, and one day the hero finally come. One of the hero go open the cell of Izuku and Kendo to see Izuku and Kendo is in there. Is in front of Kendo. Kendo was scared. Izuku was was trying to protect Kendo, and the hero said, "Hey, hey, we are here to help you. So come on, we will get you free." Both Izuku and Kendo follow them. Izuku still put his card up while holding Kendo's hand. Izuku and Kendo, the only children that survived for all of the torture. They go out from the where they was, and they see that All Might and All for One is fighting. It's fighting. The hero try to take Izuku and Kendo to a safe place. And I forgot to say this. For of the most of the torture somewhat changed Kendo hair as well. Now her hair is more dark. Anyway, Izuku Izuku looked at what happened. He see that All for One is fighting All Might. Izuku was enraged when he All for One, and and then All Might was pushed down, and All for One about to finish him. Everyone was scared to what was going to happen, but then Izuku started to run. The hero tried to stop him, but it was useless. Izuku getting faster and faster. Instead of Izuku head, Izuku meet with Killer Sense, and Killer Sense say, it's about time. Let's give him a bad time. Izuku smiling at this, hearing what Killer Sense say, and he he say yes. Killer Sense smirked, and he gave Izuku his hand, and Killer Sense say, shake my hand, and we will awake our full power back. Sans immediately no Izuku grabbed, shake Killer Sans hands, and both the suit come out, and it's a merge. A dark energy consumed them, and real world, something is something weird is happening. Izuku's skin turning more pale than usual. His his clothes somewhat stretched out. There's something coming out from Izuku's back, and then his clothes rip off, and it shows a dark wing and a red, a red, somewhat a target on Izuku's chest. His pupil down is red, and his white part of his eye is now black. And Izuku shout, "All for one!" All for one look at what happening. He see Izuku is coming at him. He was in shock to know that Izuku can still have his quirk. Izuku fly at All for One with a high speed, and then Izuku punch All for One right to the face. All for One was in shock to see how strong he is. All for One say, "So you want to play, boy? So be it." All for One create a wing from he stole Izuku's quirk, so he using it. Say, "Let's see how good your quirk is." Izuku saying this, he was more angry than ever. He immediately, and I will say this, Izuku quirk is somewhat like Hawk quirk. Izuku fly at All for One with a high speed, and he somewhat summoned a knife from nowhere. All for One was in shock. Izuku slash All for One on the chest. All for One heal the burn, heal the slash using regeneration quirk that he stole. All for One and Izuku fight in the air. Everyone saying this, and All Might was in shock to see that a child just matched with All for One's powers. How? All for One was pushed back. All for One say, "How about you take this?" All for One charge an energy blast and shoot it to Izuku. Izuku summoned a Gaster Blaster, a skull that looked like a dragon skull, and fire an energy blast. Consume the energy blast from All for One and go straight to him. All for One closely managed to dodge it, but it almost hit him. All for One fell in shock and he looked when the blast come go, and he was in fear to see that the blast made more damage than he thought. It disintegrated the building. One of the buildings sand summoned a barrage of bone to fly at All for One. All for One get hit with some of them, and then sand. No, Izuku using shortcut teleport behind him and slash him on the back. Once again, sorry about that. Anyway, Izuku got both of the wing that All for One have. All for One fell to the ground, and Izuku fly down to where All for One is. All for One say, "Okay, I give up, I surrender." And Izuku say, "Who say that I want to capture you? I want to kill you." All for One was in shock. Even the hero was scared right now. All for One think of something, and then All for One looked where Kendo is, and he has an idea. All for One shoot a blast, air pressure blast to where Kendo is. Izuku immediately put his hand up and create a wall, a bone barrier to protect Kendo. All for One take his chance and grab Izuku's hand and say, "It's over, I will take this quirk." All for One try to take Izuku quirk, but it was useless. He said, "Why cannot take it at all?" And Izuku immediately cut off all for one, all for one hand. All for one was in shock, and his head fell to the ground. His arm fell to the ground, and all for one screaming in pain. He go backward, and he looked at all for one. All for one said, "Please, give me mercy. I will do anything. I will give you any quirk you want." And Izuku say, "It's a beautiful day outside. Birds are singing, flowers are blooming. A day like this, people like you should be burning in hell." All for One was scared. Izuku stabbed All for One with a bone coming from the ground, and then he summoned a gas blaster and and fired at All for One, and then he walked off. And he walked to All Might and said, "I know you want to kill him, so I do you a favor and do it myself. So anyway, I have to go." He looked where Kendo and the hero is. Izuku walked to where Kendo is. The hero was scared. He put his guard up. All the hero put their guard up. And then Izuku say, "Hey, hey, hey, don't worry. I will not kill any of you. You guys you guys may be a sinner, but I only want to kill that guy. So don't worry." The hero still scared, but then Kendo ran off from the hero and go hug Izuku. And Izuku Kendo say, "Izuku, please calm down. You you don't have to do this." Izuku say Izuku take a deep breath and sigh and pat Kendo on the head. Kendo looked at Izuku, and she was surprised to see that Izuku smiling for the first time. And Izuku say, "Don't worry, I just do what I have to do." But then Izuku fell unconscious on Kendo's shoulder. Izuku was tired from what happened, and a few months has passed. Izuku wakes up in the hospital room, and he was wondering where he is. And he immediately remembered something, and he said, "Kendo." He immediately looked for the door, and he immediately ran to the door and opened it. When he opened it, he was met with Kendo and some other guy, some people. Izuku said, "Kendo." Kendo was happy to see that he is alright. Kendo immediately hugged Izuku and said, "Izuku, wait a second. Sorry, there is something in my throat." Izuku said, "Where are we? Who are they?" Izuku see there are three people. First one is a guy with a black long hair. Second one is second one is a guy with a buff guy with a, a blonde hair, and then a woman with a purple blue hair. And Izuku say, who are they? The man with black hair introduced himself as Shoto Aizawa. The man with a, the buff man introduced himself as All Might Toshinori Yagi. And you guys must be wondering why is All Might not in his skinny form. And that because Izuku saved All Might before All for One finished attack All Might and his stomach. So that make All Might don't lose his buff form and he still can do his hero work. And the woman introduced herself as Midnight. They explain about what happened and to and they told Izuku that he was unconscious about a month. Izuku and Kendo talk a little. Kendo explained that he is staying with Midnight from now on. Izuku was glad that she was alright, but then she remembered something that Midnight is a 18. Is his clothes is somewhat inappropriate, and I feel like these are a good idea. And how he feel that when he was still younger. Oh, and I forgot to say this. Izuku and Kendo is now 10. Izuku Midnight and to know why Izuku know about this, about Midnight that look proper for the children. Those people give them a adult magazine. So yeah, Izuku say, so where am I going? And then there are someone coming out from the door, coming in from the door and say, oh, come with me, Izuku. Izuku look and he was shocked to know who it is, and he say, Dad? Dad? Yes, it's Izuku's father, Hisashi Midoriya. I say, Izuku, I'm sorry. To that, I cannot be a great father, but I promise from now on, I will do my best to keep you safe. Izuku say, no, it wasn't your fault. They was kept aiming to capture me. I don't want that mom. It's my fault that mom died. Izuku Hisashi was sure to know that it's his son blaming himself for what happened to Inko. Hisashi said, no, it wasn't your fault. That it was the villain's fault to what happened to your mother. So please, don't blame yourself. All of them talk, and Izuku will stay with his father from now on. But then he said, but that mean, isn't that mean I will cannot meet with Kendo anymore? And Hisashi say, Izuku, after what happened to your mother, I work harder and hope for you coming back. And now I was promoted, and now I can work, and I can work from in Japan again, so we can stay here. Izuku was glad to know that. and Izuku, and from now on, they will have to stay with this. But Aizawa cut all the sweet moment and say to Izuku, kids, you have a powerful quirk, but the girl said that about what happened to her, about her father was killed by All for One band. Can you explain what happened, what type of torture All for One did to you? Izuku explained and everyone was scared and sad, and All Might was frustrated to know what happened to Izuku and Kendo. Anyway, huh, let me tell you something. No, Aizawa say, I'm sorry to know what happened to you. And Izuku say, it's no problem. Aizawa told Izuku that you have a powerful quirk, and I want to ask you got both of you. This made me a little bit forward after what happened to you guys few months ago. But how about you guys? Someone go learn in the UA. No, as I'll say, how about we teach you guys about to become a hero? Izuku say, are you sure? And Aizawa smiled and say yes. I see that you have a great potential. I see your power and you have a great potential to become a great hero in the future. Once again, sorry about pausing a lot in this video. Anyway, so how about this? I will be at the other staff of UA will train you. How about that? Izuku don't know, and he looked at his father. His father said that it would be great for you, Izuku. And he looked at Kendo. Kendo was smiling and excitement, but she's still scared. And Izuku say, "It's up to you, Kendo. Do you want to be a hero or not?" Kendo think, and she say, "I want to make people happy, and not make them through what happened to me and Izuku. So I will become a hero." Aizawa and everyone smile after hearing this and say, "Good choice." And I will end it right here. If you like it, please subscribe and leave a like. So see ya, bye bye.